Hamtaro's already hype. What's up, everybody? This is Podcast Gameoverse, episode 084, Saturday, November 13. I am Wasabi Ice Cream. Joining me, as always, Rick. What's up?
Yo, what's up, man? I'm good. I'm excited. We've had to take a couple breaks for a while, but we're back, we're here, and I'm ready to get this going, man. Start off with what we do every day. What games you've been playing, first off, and second, you were at Denver Comic Con, right? How was that?
I was. It was great. I didn't take any pictures. I got to talk to Zachary Quinto,
Oh shit.
um, who I guess is working. He's doing a new Star Wars movie, I guess. I'm not. Look, I should be embarrassed about my about my nerddom, I guess.
Yeah.
Did I say Star Wars? I did the same thing. I think I said the same thing. I did the same thing when I was talking to him. Yeah, I know Star Trek. Okay, look, I'm not a
Hey, good
fan of
try.
either. I'm not a
That was
fan of either. Okay,
Trek.
I'm not a fan of either of them. So yeah, fuck, you know. But fucking fraud. I know. I'm a phony. Okay, but yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. Actually, I went with a couple friends. I had no idea that this um like there were so many events so close by. I've been living here since like 2017. I never bothered to look at like what stuff is going
What's
on,
going
you know?
on? Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I do
um,
that. I'm the same way. I've been in like Tucson my whole life, and I'm like still discovering shit.
yeah. But there were a lot of panels. I got to like talk to a bunch of like comic book creators and um just learn the process of comics. Like comics, another thing that I don't know anything about. I don't think I've ever read a comic. So it was just interesting, seeing how like the artist writer dynamic is.
Oh yeah.
Because like there's like stuff with that. Yeah, it was cool. It was interesting. So
Yeah,
um,
back in the day when comics were done on like ink and paper, like you actually had like three people. You would have like a writer, the actual artist, and then the I can't remember what their names were called. I think they're called the line artist. They
yeah,
would do like
the
the line
tracer.
work, and yeah, the tracer. So that's what people would call them as a tracer, but the actual like professional term is like the line artist.
I
But they
only know
would
that
fill in
from uh
the outlines and color in the backgrounds too.
I only know that from, was it Chasing Amy?
Amy, yeah.
Yeah,
I looked it up, and apparently that's like a real like thing. Like they didn't just make it up for that movie. It's like a
yeah,
real thing, and like a lot of line artists get pissed off when you call them tracers. I don't think it's like a big thing anymore though, because I think it's all done digitally now. But I don't know.
yeah.
I haven't read like picked up a comic in so long. Um, the last comic I bought was, oh God, I want to say it was at Comic Con like 2018. 2018, yeah, Comic Con 2018. I picked up, I think it was called Dead Reckoning, Volume One. I never read it. I just picked it up because it's based on a script from George Romero. He's the guy who created like the modern zombie. He did like Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead, all those movies.
Yeah.
And after he died, I guess they found like a script he was working on and they converted it into a comic book. And that's like the only reason I bought it. I haven't even read it yet.
Huh.
Um, but yeah, I'm not a big like I want to get into comics. I don't fucking know where to start, dude.
Leo in the chat, which you can go to gameverse.com/twitch and join us in the chat. We do this live. He says in the chat, they're still done that way with pencilers and inkers and
Oh,
typesetters.
okay. Okay, I didn't
Um,
know that. I thought it was all done digitally now. So that just goes to show like how little I actually know about the comic book process now.
yeah.
Um, but that's really cool. That's really cool to know. Um, but yeah, I haven't really read a comic in so long. I want to. Is there any good comic recommendations? You ever recommend me like one shot comics that I could read that I don't need to like?
So there was one writer there that told us that he had a Count Chocula fanfic it was like all the cereals were like battling each other. So you had like Count Chocula and Captain Crunch and like Crunchberry, and they were like all he had like a fanfic comic of like all of them like battling or something.
Please tell me he called it serial killers.
I don't know what he called it. He didn't really have it at hand. He said he like wrote it before he like was in the industry. So I don't remember. I forgot to look it up until just now. But uh, Leo says
That's really
Invincible is a good series. Invincible.
Oh yeah, and then Invincible. That's one I really want to get into. I started watching the show. I did. I watched the first season of the show, and I tried to get into the comic. But because the show got so popular, all the first editions or the first volumes were sold out, like everywhere. I couldn't find it. I just gave up. I can probably get into it now. I'm sure I can find like a copy of the first volume.
Well, Leo's
Not like
just spitting
overly
out. I didn't
big.
know he was such a big comic guy.
Yeah, thank you, Leo. Like I want to get back into them because like I've read a couple. I read Watchmen because who hasn't read Watchmen? Watchmen's really good. That's one I've read. I tried getting into Paper Girls. That one's pretty fun too. I've only read the first issue, but I like Paper Girls a lot. I read all of Scott Pilgrim, so I'm not like a total comic noob, but I don't want to get into like some of the major like Marvel DC because they have so much shit like behind it that I don't know where to start with it. If you want to read Spider-Man, you can't just read Spider-Man now. You got to read all this other shit ahead of time. Um,
Here's a question.
yeah.
Okay, now we're getting off on tangents here, but let's
Right.
let's how how do you read a comic? Do you like get like are you sitting at the like dinner table with just like a uh with the lights low and a glass of wine, or are you just whip it out at the cafe, or because I never see
Same way
anyone
you read a
reading.
book.
Well, right, but like you see people with books everywhere. You don't really see people with comics. Is there like a negative stigma as to where you whip out your comics, or
I think
is
it
it?
depends on the comic. Like, I don't think there's a negative stigma now, but I have a theory. Leo was saying Marvel and DC can be too intimidating for new readers. Absolutely. That's why I don't want to get into Marvel and DC. Um, but the thing with comics is that a lot of serialized comics are really thin books. Like the stereotypical comic book is like this thin, like book, like a magazine almost, but very, very small. It's like a weekly issue, sometimes monthly. Those you can read very quickly. And so you're not going out to a cafe to read it. You know what I mean? This is
Yeah.
something you pick up, maybe reading at home. Awesome, cool. Can't wait till next week. Shove it in your collection and wait till next week. Um, but full size like graphic novels, like Invincible has a compendium, so you can get like the first like I think like 3 volumes, and it's like a proper like novel size book. That might take some time. I can definitely see someone like going to a cafe and reading that. But also you have to be aware that there's pictures of what you're reading. So you got to be careful like what you're reading and where. Like
Yeah.
I would love to read Watchmen like on the train or something, or like on a train or something or like on a bus, but if someone looks over my shoulder and they're seeing some of the fucked up shit you might see in Watchmen, that's going to cause some issues, people around you. I guess it all depends. Like, I don't think there's a social stigma to it, but I think a lot of people just would prefer to read them like the comfort of their home or something. That's what I would
Okay.
do. When I was reading
Okay.
Scott Pilgrim, I'd read them all at home.
All right.
I guess it just depends. But no,
Last
I'm glad you
week,
had fun at Comic Con, man. Anything else you've been playing or doing?
last week was our Extra Life marathon.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
did that, and I have some opinions on Resident Evil now.
Oh, there you go. I want to
Um,
hear that because I was there for the first couple hours and you were getting into it, and then
yes.
I left. And what
Having
happened?
played through the entirety of the first game,
That's
and
Chris.
as Chris, and playing through a decent portion of the second game, the remake,
Okay.
as uh, Claire. Um, I will say this first game, trash, dude. This game is
You're
trash.
wrong. Okay.
Uh, it has some neat ideas, but it's just some of the stuff that has you do is super obtuse, like having to examine everything and then position it and then re-examine it and then it flips open and then oh there was a key inside. Um, like that shit is fine. It's because you marathoned it that I didn't like it. No, I wouldn't have liked this. I didn't like it in 1998, and I didn't like it. I don't like it now, or whenever it came out. Um, I don't know. It's just, a lot of the puzzle elements of it were just super obtuse. I'm like, how the fuck would you know to do this? Or like you walk into a room and then like the ceiling collapses and you're like, oh no, I'm stuck. I guess I should have had a certain item before I walked in. You're like, that shit is like fucked up, dude. Like I don't. If I need a guide, I don't know if I needed a guide. Apparently, you people just knew everything about this game uh, when it came out. I don't know. So,
It
but
depends on the game, really. Like, if you don't like a lot of puzzles and games that make you like examine everything, I can see not liking it. I played the entirety of like Resident Evil 1, the original, without a guide, and I had a guide for the 1 remake when I was younger, but I played through the entirety of Resident Evil 2, the original, without a guide. And it was easy for me to get through it. And
yeah,
that's part of the fun though, is like getting through it, getting stumped, getting past it, and then playing it again to see how fast you can do it this next time now that you know where everything goes. Um, and Leo's saying like it's really intuitive. Modern games are geared less towards examining everything, and I agree. Like the
well,
thing with
because
Resident Evil is that it's very environment heavy. Like it really forces you to take in the environment, examine, not just examine everything physically, but also like when you walk in, like notice the lighting, pay attention to noises. If you hear a zombie off camera, you know there's an enemy in the room with you. A big part of that game is like the environment and the atmosphere. And I think examining everything just lends more credence to that. That's
yeah,
just my opinion.
but I think also it was just playing this enhanced version. Um, I just a lot of things were still bugging me, like the time it takes to just open a door, or like a lot of just there was like a lot of time wasting stuff. That I'm like, couldn't we just get rid of this or just make this faster or make this better? It was just annoying to play. Uh, I don't know with so many choices. I don't know what like the choices they made regarding some of the design. I was just like, this could be done better. Um, and
And
they
then I
did do it
played like
better.
a retro. Yeah.
They did do it better in Resident Evil 2 because I'm not gonna sit
The
here and say
remake.
I don't like Resident Evil because Resident Evil 2 is a fucking masterpiece, dude. I was loving playing that fucking game. Uh,
The Resident Evil 2 remake, right?
yes, yes.
Yeah. That one's good. It's good.
Oh, it's incredible, dude. It is so
Yeah.
incredible when the big fucker comes out and like
Oh
chases
yeah.
you through the
It
entire thing.
tags
I'm
you.
like, oh, is he gonna stop at some point? I'm just gonna hide in here until he stops, and he doesn't stop. You're forced to just do like this entire section with this asshole chasing you. It was crazy. I was like, it was annoying at first, but then it was just so like edge of your seat, like, oh my god, am I gonna be able to do this? Oh, I just got this key for the thing that I saw way over there. I'm gonna try to do that while this guy's chasing me. Um,
It's really
uh,
intense, and I'm glad you're into it because it's like it is a
yeah,
really good game.
and
And
that's the thing. It's not that I don't like examining stuff. I just they never tell you that that's a thing you can do in that game. They never tell you that. So it's not something I would ever even think of doing. Or even like if I look at something once and I'm not looking at it the right way and it says there's nothing to examine here, but there really is, if it tells me there's nothing because I did it wrong, but it didn't tell me I did it wrong, I'm gonna think that there's nothing there and I'm gonna move on. Um, and that's what that game fucks up. It's like you look at a thing and it's like, oh, there's nothing here, and it's like, oh, okay, there's nothing here, but then there is
I'll give
something
you
there.
that. But the thing with that game And Leo said people used to read the manuals. Yeah, like the
Oh
manual, I'm
yeah,
sure, like told you could examine stuff. But what I'll defend with Resident Evil is that the stuff you can examine, it's like obvious what you need to examine. Like when you pull up a book, the book up, you turn it, and you're like, oh, there's a lock on it. Examine the lock, and then
yeah,
that's when the rest comes out. You know, you open up a key, and you're like, oh, what's this key? Turn it over. You see the symbol. Examine it. Oh, it's the shield key. So it's not like it's cryptic, like, oh, what am I looking for? Like you're looking for physical abnormalities in it, and then you click on it to examine it, and then it tells you what this abnormality is. Like it's not like something super crazy. A book, another example, a book, you turn it over, examine the pages the book opens. Like it's not something like super cryptic, but I
yeah,
can see like maybe someone who's like who didn't grow up playing that. Because modern games are very hand-holdy. Like, you don't have to like do that. You just pull up. And nowadays, a game would handle it by just clicking the exam button. It'll tell you like, oh, there's a key in the book, but you haven't actually turned it over. Um, and I can see where that would be frustrating. But someone like me who grew up, you're not just telling the game to examine it. You're physically looking at it, looking for abnormalities, and hitting the exam button when you find one. That's how I always
yeah.
interpreted it. Um,
And like, I guess if it was in the manual, because the thing was like, it was at the very beginning of the game where you were like, oh no, you got to examine that thing. And I was like, that was the point where every time I played that game, that was the point where I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do. Because I never had a manual to look at. Like,
yeah.
once I figured out that that's a thing you can do, then that was a thing I was doing throughout. But it was just like figuring out that that was a thing you could do. It was just whereas in Resident Evil 2, at least the remake, it tells you straight up when you pick up the first thing you have to examine. It goes, hey, you can examine shit.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think it's a bit easier in Resident Evil 2, right? I haven't played it in a while, but you don't have to like fucking move it over and look at all this crazy stuff. You just hit examine and then it plays an
no,
animation,
I
right?
think you do position it. I
Okay,
think you
I
do
couldn't remember. I haven't
sometimes.
played it in a while.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, and I can definitely see that, and a lot of people say that, like, and I think Resident Evil 2 is a great game too, because it's a good like middle ground of modern sensibilities with old school puzzle solving, and I
yeah,
think it meshes that perfectly. Um, I still give credit for Resident Evil for being kind of ahead of its time in the way it handled it, but Resident Evil 2, the remake, does clean up a lot of that stuff that people didn't like about the original, that people don't like about the newer games, and I think it's a perfect mesh of that. And I personally can't wait to see like what else Capcom puts out with Resident Evil, with this kind of
yeah.
style.
But
I'm
that's
hearing
the
there's an
thing,
RE4
because
remake coming out pretty soon, so I can't wait to see what that looks like.
they've got this style, but they've got that also like the PT like first person style.
Yeah,
Um,
so we'll see what they do then, because like I don't know what they're dedicated to, but we'll see. As long as
yeah,
they make good games, I don't give a fuck if I'm being honest. Resident Evil's like one of those franchises. It's like I don't have a definition of like what Resident Evil should be. I have like an idea of what I want to see in a Resident Evil game. And I want a game that's going to give me fun puzzles, real head scratchers that make me think, oh, that's really cool once I discover it. Really creepy settings, inventory management. That's something I want to see.
yeah.
But they're kind of at this impasse, so they need to see which way they want to go with it. So I don't care what the next Resident Evils are, if they're first person, third person, as long as it has those elements in it, I'm okay with it. And Leo
But
was saying it hits a great balance, and yeah, I think it does too. Um, did you play what else? I know there are plans to play like Devil May Cry. Did you get to that too?
I didn't get to Devil May Cry. I loaded up Resident Evil and I was like, "Oh, I'm playing this, man." I don't know. This one hit like
It hits a
everything I
good
was looking
spot.
for.
How far did you
Yeah,
get? The RT remake.
I got to what's her face, the little girl. I got
Oh
to
shit.
the orphanage.
Okay,
Uh,
so you got out of the police station then.
yeah,
Yeah. The police station is the most like puzzle heavy part of the game. Like once you get out of there, it's kind of a straight shot almost to the end after that.
oh, really? Oh, so I'm done with the police station?
If you're playing as Claire and you're going to the orphanage, yeah, I think you're done with the police station.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm almost positive you're done with the police station, actually. I think from there it's the police station, then sewer, then lab, and then end game.
Oh yeah, I think I'm in the lab. I'm in the
I think you're
lab.
almost on. Yeah,
Interesting.
you're like super
Okay.
close to the end. Yeah, you're super close to the end. Yeah, get back into it. You're almost done. And then when you're done, play as like Leon. And
And
you'll
is
see
Leon
this side
actually
of it.
different, or
So I don't know if this game does it. I've only played it through once as Leon, and I got to get through it again. But in the original Resident Evil 2, the game was different depending on who you picked first. I don't think this game does that though, but I'll have to double check. But in the first game, essentially you had like 4 campaigns because if you played as Leon first, Claire second, or Claire first, Leon second, the story was different for each person.
hmm.
Because basically, like, it kind of makes like the first character you play as the main character, and the second player you play as is like, oh, what were they doing while the main character is doing shit, is almost how it's played out. And playing through it again with switching it around, it does change aspects a little bit because they start at different sides of the police station, they start at different sides of the game, and they go through different areas. But the elements are still the same. Like Leon always meets Ada, Claire always meets Sherry, but what bosses you fight, in what order you fight them, and what help you have during those fights, those are different. Yeah, there's a lot of things to it. It's pretty cool. I don't know if this game does that too, but I'll have to double check. Um, okay, so yeah, there are 2 scenarios, is what Leo was saying.
Yeah.
Um,
But I don't know. I'm a Resident Evil fan now.
yeah,
This
good,
one converted me. Uh,
good,
so
good.
if the rest of them are this good, then I'm on board.
That's good. You might want to try Resident Evil 4. It's not going to have the same like scary elements as like RE2 remake, but
Yeah.
Resident Evil 4 is still a fucking
Now I've
really
played four.
awesome.
I've played four. I've never
Yeah,
gotten very far in it, but I've played it. I've played
yeah, so
five and I finished five.
oh, I love 4. I think five's a fun game.
Five's
But
super
cool.
fun.
Did you get to BioShock? I know that was another one you want to try.
I did. I played a little bit of Bioshock. I don't know. It wasn't hitting. Like Bioshock's a good game, but I don't know.
I'm gonna say something. A lot of people aren't gonna like it. I
Yeah.
very kind of word it very unpopular opinions about BioShock. I was gonna come
Yeah.
around and say it. BioShock 2 plays a lot better than BioShock 1. I don't
That
give a
was the
fuck
thing.
what anyone says.
So it was switching between like the weapons and the plasmids. That was like, why can't I just have the shock in my left hand and the pistol in my right hand and just
Yeah,
use
you
them
can do
both?
that in BioShock 2.
Okay, okay, well, okay then.
Everyone and
I,
everyone's talking about like, oh, BioShock 2 is like the worst one. I was like, no, like objectively it plays better. The story might not be as good, but I'll argue that the game plays better all the way around.
yeah.
Like, if the story for BioShock is an A and gameplay is like a C, the story on BioShock 2 is like a B and gameplay is like an A. So I think like depending on what you prioritize more, I would argue BioShock 2 is better. And Leo agrees with me that BioShock 2 is the best one. But if you want a game that does the BioShock thing but does it better, I will argue to hell and back. This is the hill I'm ready to die on. That Prey 2018 does the same
Oh,
thing BioShock does, but substantially better. I will argue that Prey is a better BioShock.
yeah. Prey is pretty dope.
Yeah, it's really dope. Leo says he needs to play Prey. Yes, you do. I think it's like $20 on Steam right now. It's super cheap. If you have Game Pass, it's on Game Pass.
It's got like
Go
a
check it out.
roguelike mode too.
Yeah, it's got a roguelike mode, Moon Crash, that's also really good. But yeah, Prey is fucking fantastic. If you like atmosphere, if you like tackling puzzles your own way or tackling problems your own way, total freedom and how to build your character up with like choices that I personally think actually do matter in terms of how you spec your character out can drastically affect how the game's played out. And on top of that, like it's a really good story that'll keep you gripped from start to finish. Go try out Prey. I think it's fucking phenomenal. And I don't know if it did well enough for Arcane to do a sequel, but we'll see what happens. Um, yeah, don't feel bad that Bioshock wasn't hitting you, right? I'm sure like if you played this game, like when did that come out? Like 2007. It would have been like revolutionary, but we've
Yeah,
had better tweaks to the
I
formula,
played it
even within
when
franchise.
I played it a little bit when it finally hit PS3,
Yeah.
um, and just never got into it. I don't know. I don't know. Like I can tell it's a good game. It's just I don't know something about it. It just doesn't really hit with me.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like, I'm sure it's one of those games you gotta let marinate a little bit, but I'll argue that like the gameplay in Bioshock 2 is so much better, and nobody wants to have that conversation yet. Um,
You're not ready.
anything else you played, or what was that? Was that it?
Um, our friends at Nerd Junkies, if you go to nerdjunkies.com, they joined us. They joined for a little bit to play some Back for Blood.
Oh
Um,
shit! Right on.
that game's still fun. It's still fun. We
Yeah.
just played through the first scenario again.
I
Uh,
haven't booted it up yet since it came out. I have it downloaded. I really should get into it, but I've been so busy with other games and stuff.
yeah, it's fun, but I don't know.
I know it is, dude. The fucking beta was dope.
A lot of people don't think that it's as good as Left 4 Dead, but I never liked Left 4 Dead, and I like Back for Blood.
I
So
guess it
I don't know.
depends on what you want. I think Left 4 Dead, like they're very similar, like mechanically. I think I just need to get some more time with Back for Blood to get a strong opinion, but I kind of like Back for Blood a little bit more. But that
Yeah.
might just be because like, new game bias, it's the shine. Oh, I'm sure once the shining stuff wears off, I might not like it as much, but we'll see. Um, anything else?
That was it. I think.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right,
Not.
I'll make mine really quick. I haven't really played too many games. I recently got back into Pokemon, so that's like an addiction. I started back up
Uh
again.
oh.
Just
Which one?
yeah. So I'm playing. I played Sword. I beat it, but my brother got Sword, and he was like bragging about his team, and I was like, I can fucking smoke your team, dude. And I started like EV training a team to specifically built to take down his team, just so I can like show him up. And I got back into it. I'm like addicted to it again. And but that was like a really small like thing that lasted for a little bit. What I really want to talk about in the interim, I was looking for games to play, so I was going through Game Pass, and I booted up my computer for the first time in forever. I was going through Game Pass, trying to find something new to play on the interim between SMT5 coming out, and I downloaded Scarlet Nexus,
Okay.
and I was fully in the mindset that I'm going to play this for a little bit. It might not be a cup of tea, but it'll maybe kill like an afternoon or something. Bro, I'm fucking hooked on this game. Like,
Wow.
holy shit, this game is phenomenal, dude. It's it's a really really fun combat system that constantly is giving you new shit to play with. So it's I don't want to spoil too much, but it's hack and slash almost character action game, kind of like Devil May Cry, but I want to say like less technical heavy. But it's got this really cool system where you have a psychokinesis, and you can throw shit at people, and then if you hit the attack button, your character will like dash into them and attack them, and so it opens up combo potential very easily because it doesn't matter if you're far away from somebody, you throw something at them, hit the attack button, you cancel out of that, dash into them, and you start doing combos, and you can cancel out of that into another like psychokinesis throw, and using those in conjunction does more damage, and it can deplete a bar underneath the enemy's health. And if you bring that bar down before you kill them, you can do a really cool finishing move that one looks fucking cool, is satisfying as hell, second, and third makes the enemy drop more resources, like that finishing move right there that you're seeing here, stuff like
Yeah.
that. It's really really cool. And on top of that, you have teammates that hang out alongside you, and you can't play as them, but you can link up with them and use their psychic abilities on yourself. So like there's this girl who has a pyrokinesis, and when I activate it, all of my attacks have like a fire ability to them, and they do more damage. And on top of that, I get a new combo while I'm fighting, and every character has like a social link, almost like Persona. So the more I hang out with them, the more abilities I can unlock when I link up with them in my party. and it's a lot of fun, dude. There's this guy that can turn invisible, so you could use him to like sneak up on enemies and get like a critical hit, so it knocks out that bar, so it's easier to do that finisher after you do that. There's this girl who slows down time. There's this other girl who her power is that you can see the future, so you can see enemies that are hidden, and you can do perfect dodges fast, more effectively. Oh, by the way, the game has perfect dodges like Bayonetta, so that's a thing that's fun to play with. And I haven't even really gotten into it, but every chapter it's introducing new stuff to me, and it has a really cool skill tree that you can unlock more stuff in. So the game has like a devil trigger mode, like a witch time mode, kind of like Bayonetta or like Devil May Cry, where once you fill up this bar, you become a lot more powerful, and you can unlock modifications to it so it heals you while it's active or does more damage while it's active. It's a lot of fun. And Leo saying it's not a gotcha, is it? No, it's a single player RPG. It's a single player action RPG, no gotcha elements. So go check it out. It's a lot of fun, and I'm kind of upset that I slept on it this long because I'm actually having a lot of fun with it. The story's really cool. I don't want to spoil it too much, but the game does that anime thing where it throws a lot of like pronouns at you of shit you don't know. So you kind of have to read up a little bit on the lore. But it's a lot of fun, dude. I really, really like it. And I'm upset that I slept on it this long. I've been playing it for the past like week, and I really, really like it. Um, Also, I just picked up SMT5 as well. Um, I was supposed to pick it up yesterday when it came out, but GameStop didn't have my copy in stock, so I barely picked it up like an hour ago. And I played for about 30, 40 minutes. Graphics are really nice. The story's really interesting. I like where it's starting, but I don't have enough time in it to really give a thoughtful review. I'll probably have more info on that next week. I want to try streaming it once I have some time available. I'll let everyone else know when that's going to happen. But yeah, that's what I've been playing, dude. If anyone takes anything from this, go play Scarlet Nexus. It's a lot of fun. It's on Game Pass, so go check it out. Like, you won't regret it. Even if you don't like it, like, worst case scenario, you kill like maybe an hour, 2 hours of your time, but it's a lot of fun. It's really smooth. It plays very well. Go check it out.
All right, Scarlet Nexus.
Yeah, it's
Um,
really good.
if you're playing that, then I think I should play the Tales game.
Oh, Tales of Abyss.
Yeah,
Is that what it is? No, no,
yeah.
Tales of what's the newest one?
I don't remember. They all have
Oh God, I know.
they don't have
That one looks
numbers in
good
the
too, though.
name. Yeah, I heard great things about that one too. And I'm like, I
Tales of
only got
Arise. That's it. Yeah, that one looks
yeah,
good.
I only got time for like one anime RPG. So
Yeah.
if
I
you're
feel like
the
Scarlet Nexus gonna take a lot of my time, so I might stream that too. So like it's good. It's a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun with it. And again, it's got that anime. It's got that the same thing. Like, one of the things I don't like about it, that I'll admit, is that the game kind of drip feeds you like mechanics. So if you're really impatient, you can start off with it and you're like, is that it? But no, it drip feeds you stuff. And every time it gives you something new, it's like something new to play with. I wish it did that a little bit faster, but from what I'm playing so far, like, I can't wait to see what else the game's got going for it. I'm in a place right now where like it's really fun to play with the mechanics that are available, but I feel like there's more stuff the game's gonna like start throwing at me, and I can't wait till that happens.
all right,
But it's really good. Go check it out.
I'll check it out. I'll probably check out both of them at some point.
Yeah.
But
Is Tales of Arise on Game Pass? Probably
I
not, right?
don't think so.
It's a bummer because I really want to play that. But I don't want to like drop 60 bones on it, man.
Um, shouts out to Game Pass too.
Yeah, I know. Like, Microsoft, give us money. We talk about your service so much, and we're not paid by Microsoft. We're not. I wish we were. Can you imagine if we had a
I
fucking deal with
almost
Microsoft?
was.
Oh, really?
I interviewed for a job, being their like game person for their stores. They have like physical stores, and
Oh yeah.
they were looking to invent a new job for someone to like be like the games guy at their store, at least out here. And I don't know. I interviewed for them. It went really well, but I guess got someone else. I hope they're doing all right because I had a lot of ideas. Uh, but whatever.
Yeah, it's cool though. Everyone like, again, Microsoft give us money. We talk about your service so much, and it's not because we're getting an incentive out of it. Like, legit is a really good service. Like, it's not expensive. You get ton of quality games.
Yeah, and then
They come out.
I mentioned this during the extra life thing is the people who have like something negative to say about it or like have a reason as to why they're not subscribed to Game Pass. One of the common things I hear is, "Oh, there's just nothing on there that I want to play," and I'm like, "Dude, what the fuck do you play where there's nothing on there?" Like Halos, there's shooters, there's RPGs, there's puzzle games, there's visual novels, there's racing games. Like, what the fuck do you play that nothing
Yeah,
on there for $1 is not enticing you to at least download it? uh,
exactly, dude. I was the same way for a while because I was like, oh, my big thing was like, I was like a huge like purist. I was like, oh, I don't want to like subscribe to this and then have them like take my games away. But like no, like it cycles through so many games. Like you're gonna find something you like, dude.
yeah,
Like
and
I
it's
think in
you
the last
still
couple of weeks I've booted up more hours on Game Pass than I have on Steam. And it's because like it cycles through all these great games.
like I could buy a subscription the day Halo comes out and go into like a random coma for 3 months and still be getting my money's worth
Yeah. And
when I
those aren't
wake
going
up to
anywhere.
play it. Yeah.
Yeah, and those aren't going anywhere. You could argue like maybe some of the third party games might like River City Girls is leaving Game Pass like this month, but that's been on there for like what, like 5 months now, 6 months, almost a year,
Yeah.
I think. I don't know how long it's been there, but it's been there for a while because it was there when I signed up for Game Pass, and that's what like that was one of the first games I downloaded, and it's barely leaving. And on top of that, like you have the entire Halo series, Gears of War's on there, Forza's on there, all
Yeah.
the Bethesda games are on there, Doom,
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls, Fallout, and those aren't going anywhere. Those are there forever. So that alone, I think, is worth the price of entry. And then you get all these new games. Outriders is on there.
Oh,
It's not great. You have to fucking drop $60 to find out. You could just play it.
I did play Outriders on there when they put it on PC.
Yeah,
Not even free. Not even for free will I play that game.
yeah.
It's broken, dude. Uh as early as the main fucking menu where it says press start to continue doesn't fucking work. Doesn't work. Hit every button on the controller, hit every button on the keyboard, press start to continue. You can't continue. Sometimes it works. Most of the time it didn't. Uh, and then I like got past right where the little beta test ended. There's like a new area you all move to. Got to that area, fucking broke. None of the enemies spawned. Couldn't do anything. Uh, so
Oh god, so bad.
not even for free would I play that game, dude. It's a mess. Um,
Hopefully it gets like some sort of like up treatment, but we'll see. Also, while we're on the subject, fucking EA is on Game Pass too. So that's
oh
another
yeah,
thing. Fucking they get me started on that shit, dude. Like Game Pass is the best deal in gaming right now. Like I think if you own a gaming PC, if you play on PC, you should have Game Pass. I really believe so.
even if you don't own a PC, uh, if you're trying to decide on like a PS5 or an Xbox, get that Xbox, man. It comes with a free year of Game Pass. So even if you don't have enough money to just buy a bunch of games, they just give you Game Pass for an entire year. So you have everything you need.
Yeah.
And they're not
Imagine this,
gonna
dude. Imagine because this is gonna happen. Oh, Clay's in the chat. What's up, Clay?
play what's
Um,
up.
Imagine you get Xbox One X for Christmas. You know, you don't have any games for it, but you have Game Pass. You can download Halo Infinite. It comes out this December, right? Or at least the multiplayer does. You can play Halo Infinite, the newest Halo game, the day you open up that box, having to go out and buy it. Like that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is such an enticing opinion here. And as much as I like my PlayStation, as much as I like PlayStation exclusives, dude, they're fucking up. Like they need to do something to catch up with this. I really think so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. we do talk about gaming news. So enough personal pieces. First gaming headline: fuck Ubisoft. Everyone else is probably like, yeah, but why though?
I meant to change that. The fuck Ubisoft was a placeholder. I forgot that was there. Um, but that's
I'm into
fine.
it, dude. So
That can stay.
yeah, so if you guys remember back in July, a group of current and former Ubisoft employees got together to show solidarity to the walkout at Activision Blizzard, and 1,000 employees at Ubisoft signed an open letter criticizing Ubisoft management for allowing and ignoring discrimination, bullying, abuse. A lot of the same shit that was going down at Activision. A lot of Ubisoft employees have been seeing that too, and they're taking a stand against it. Um, Not even like 100 days later, the hashtag A Better Ubisoft group launched with a petition to ask for support to end abuse in the company, which pretty standard. I mean, like everyone should work in a place of business comfortably. You shouldn't have to worry about getting abused or bullied, discriminated against when you're there to do a job. And right now, none of the demands in that letter have been met. A day after that, Ubisoft announced pay raises for their Canadian studios and what seems like an attempt to kind of hold on to people who didn't walk out.
Yeah.
The day after that, they gave away free copies of Assassin's Creed Chronicles Trilogy to kind of get some good faith back with consumers. Now, Dan Hay, Far Cry executive producer for more than 10 years with Ubisoft Montreal, is leaving the company. And we do have a link to sign their petition to show your support. I signed it. For the same reasons I stated, everyone deserves the right to work in a place comfortably. They shouldn't have to worry about being bullied, discriminated against, or abused by their higher ups, or worry about retaliation for speaking up against it. And if you guys want to show your support, show them that we demand more from our products. We demand more from the people who make the games that we love, and we want to treat those employees with dignity. You can sign that petition. There's a link on the show notes, and we can put a link in the stream chat too for everyone to check out. I don't think there's really a hot take we can make here. Like, good for them. Like, it's
Yeah.
good that this is happening. It's good to see some change coming in. I love seeing that. I do. I love seeing that. What
Well,
about
it's
you?
good. It's
What do you
good to see some
agree with me on
change.
that?
It's good
Yeah,
to see
it
some
is. It's
change. The
great.
thing is, they have not made any change. Though they said, like, the thing that I've noticed about Ubisoft for the longest time now is every time like a thing like this comes out, they'll come out and go, "Oh, we're sorry. We okay." I tried to do a bad. I tried to do a bad French accent. That's on me. But they'll come out and be like, "We're sorry. Yeah, we're listening. We hear you. We're gonna make some changes." And then they'll put that in a video that they don't promote a. Leo says, "I am less sorry." Uh,
Sorry.
they'll
Nice
they'll
one,
put
dude.
that in a video that they don't promote at all. They don't share on their like socials. They don't do like anything to kind of tell people that they're sorry. They'll just do like a little video or a little Twitter post, and then they'll bury that under the actual thing they want to show people, which is, "Hey, we're giving away Assassin's Creed, guys," or, "Hey, look at this new update for the crew. You're excited about that, right?" And it's like, no, motherfuckers, no one cares about that shit. Like, there's accusations here. There's stuff going on with you, and you're just trying to sweep it under the rug. And they do this every fucking time a thing comes out. And it's like, I don't know, I'm fucking tired of it. So I'm definitely not going to be playing or purchasing or supporting any Ubisoft products until something happens, until they actually do something about it. So
I,
uh,
I
it's,
would support you in that, but there's really no Ubisoft products I was like really excited for anyway.
the only thing for me
So,
was uh, Beyond Good and Evil, and that's not.
oh yeah, that's not gonna happen anytime soon, hopefully.
But I'm also going to extend it to Activision Blizzard as well. Um,
Okay, there you
like
go.
the same for them. Like I'm not going to be, I'm not going to buy, or I did buy Call of Duty Vanguard. I did buy that, but it was fucking
But
broken.
now,
I bought it during the extra live stream, and the game was fucking busted. It would not launch at all.
geez.
Uh, so um, yeah, but
One
I'm
thing
not.
I really want to. Oh, sorry. Continue.
I'm just not gonna support them publicly or privately. That's it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. And one thing I really want to point out is I'm going to put a link to the IGN article where we're taking this from. They have uh, an image of the I bet a Ubisoft group advising that it's been like 100 days since the open letter was sent out. And if you look at the way it's laid out, I don't know if you remember, there was an issue with Far Cry 5 where if you dumped like a couple hours in the game and never picked it up again after like a week or something, you would get an email from um Giancarlo Esposito's character, like addressed from him to you. Like, oh, you only put 3 hours in the game. Surely you can do better than this. Thank you for handing over the territory to me. And they modeled their I better Ubisoft modeled their discrepancy in that same style. With 100 days, zero demands met. Surely you can do better than this. And I'm like, that's really cool. That's a good way of like throwing that back at them.
Yeah.
I just want to point out that that's fucking gangster. um, but good on them. Good on them. Don't let up. Don't let up until your demands are met. Those of you who want to know, their key demands are: one, stop promoting and moving known offenders from studio to studio, team to team with no repercussions. The cycle needs to end. Two, they want a collective seat at the table to have a meaningful say in how Ubisoft as a company moves forward from here. Totally fair. Three, cross industry collaboration to agree on a set of ground rules and processes that all studios can use to handle these offenses in the future. That one I'm most excited for because if other people see this and they take note, they could hold that to a standard for their own companies. And we don't have to
Yeah.
worry about issues like Ubisoft, Activision Blizzard happening again in the future, or Riot, when that was a thing happening in the
Yeah.
future. And number four, the collaboration must heavily involve employees in non-management positions and union representatives, which is great. You need the people who are there on the ground actually having a say in what goes forward with the company.
Yeah.
Again, you can sign that petition if you want to show your support. We're not making you do anything, but I think it's a pretty good cause to get behind. Takes like 5 minutes. I did it as we were setting up audio for the show. So check it out. Go show your support. In lighter news, we have some new information on the Xbox app for PC. There's a whole YouTube video about 5.5 minutes long going over it. But they did have a total PC community update regarding some changes. Some of the key ones coming to Xbox for PC is Windows users can actually install PC games from the Microsoft Store or from Game Pass to any folder with unrestricted access, which is good. I never had a problem with it because I'm not like a big power user.
Yeah. Well,
I was just like, okay, where will I go there?
the big thing for that is they is mod support basically. Like they've got all the Bethesda games on there, which have
Oh,
heavy modding communities, but you don't have access to the folders you need to actually modify things in the right way. You just have like whatever the game offers itself, and that's what the consoles have. So they're going to be opening it up completely so that you will be able to fully mod them shits out just like you can with like the Steam versions and
okay.
every other game that
I
has
didn't even
mod
think about
support.
that.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. So
Like
that's really cool.
No Man's Sky has like a huge modding community, but you can't really take advantage of that with the version that's on Game Pass. So, um,
Okay, so that's really cool then. So
yeah,
that'll be cool to see. I can't wait to start seeing some of that shit on Game Pass then. Um, there's some other small improvements. Cloud gaming is going to be accessible directly from the Xbox app, which is great. I don't know why that wasn't a thing before.
yeah,
um, some smaller improvements, HDR settings for Windows 11, performance improvements, backend improvements for integrations and for developers. So pretty cool to see. We talk about
yeah,
Game Pass a lot. You and I are both like very heavy users on Game Pass. It's cool to see that Microsoft is like paying attention. I'm sure these updates didn't just come out of nowhere. I'm sure enough people complained they wanted this unrestricted access to the games they downloaded to their system, and it's
Yeah.
cool that they're like, okay, here, have it, you got
But
it.
just how frustrating it
Um,
is to like use, and like the updating system was
yeah,
bad, very bad. Like my games wouldn't get updates unless I went to the store page in the Microsoft store. Not even like, even if I hit check for updates, the shit wouldn't come up. I would have to actually go to the page where you buy the game in the Microsoft store, and then it would update. It was like crazy. But I don't know. Some of these changes to me come off as like they're planning for something bigger. It seems like they're planning for something significant coming up here in the near future. Like it's, I kind of outlined it in these notes, but when you hear them talk about some of the updates they're making to like the back end, they're not talking about like direct like Unity support and like direct support for like certain engines that developers can like achievements and shit like that. It just sounds like they're kind of vamping up for, or ramping up. Vamping up is totally there. They are vamping up with that vampire game, but ramping up to be like a real Steam competitor in a way.
yeah, oh yeah, and it's like honestly, like, what's Steam gonna do to catch up with this? I mean, Steam's got the community support for sure. They got a huge market share now, but like if I can get all these games on Game Pass, why would I buy them on Steam? Like
Yeah,
what are they gonna do to compete with this if they have anything to compete with it with? And here's the problem. Steam has been opinion piece now. Steam has been so focused on running their software, getting Steam working, adding um more content like Team Fortress 2 back in the day. They don't really have a catalog right now to fall on for exclusives. You know what I mean? Microsoft owning Obsidian, Bethesda, EA partnering with them, they have this whole catalog of titles where Steam has their newest game is Half-Life Alex was the newest game that they've released. And before
yeah.
that, it was what, Half-Life 2 Episode 2? No, it was that card game nobody wanted.
Well,
So,
Steam is more like Valve. They're not in like the game making business anymore.
well, not at
They're
all.
they're strictly like, I mean, I don't know what
Yeah, I
they're
called Valve Steam, didn't I? That was my bad. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, they haven't really been in the game making business anymore, which like is fun. They had Steam to fall back on to make them their money. But with let's say Game Pass does become like a really strong competitor, what's Valve gonna do to compete? You know, the only thing that they have over everyone else, they have the highest market share right now for PC gaming, where to get your PC games.
yeah.
And with if Game Pass like eats up enough of that market share, what are they gonna do?
And that's what I like about this. No one watched this video, by the way. This video was like talking straight, like directly to the PC gaming community, and it only has 100,000 views, and that's across like what, 3 days. So not a lot of views on this, but this tells me that they're like actually trying to take PC seriously. They're like,
Yeah,
okay, what do the PC gamers need? What are they telling us? And let's try to give them, the experience they're looking for out of this. Like pretty soon, you're not going to even have to install Steam. Like, every Windows installation is going to come with the Xbox app and Game Pass and shit. So like
exactly. Let's
Steam,
say,
you might not even
and
need it
I want to
anymore.
see what future generations look like with that, because let's say like you have like newer people getting into PC gaming. Maybe not so much now with like you know graphics cards being so hard to come by, but let's see, more people are getting into it. They're getting into PC gaming system. Imagine this, so your PC that you got specifically for gaming on comes loaded with Game Pass on it. Maybe Microsoft wants to give you like, oh, here's a free like month of Game Pass if you set up a Microsoft account to log into the computer. And sure enough, you won't need Steam to game on your PC anymore.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, like you're right. We'll see what happens. I don't know what Valve's going to do to compete with this. They have anything to do to compete with this, but we'll see. Um, Honestly, I think that Valve can like release Half-Life 3 tomorrow, and I don't think it'll still be enough to like stop Game Pass's momentum, if I'm being honest. Um, but we'll see what happens, man. I'm excited to see what else happens, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm glad. I just want to say, you know, I'm glad you got me into Game Pass. I was super skeptical, but you kept pushing me, and I'm glad I did it. It was one of the best decisions I ever made.
Yeah.
um, More on Xbox. We got some exclusives coming up, kind of. We got a first look at a couple things. Compulsion is working on a third-person action game, codenamed Midnight. It's
Yeah.
set in a dark fantasy world. It's described as a coming-of-age tale, drawing on inspirations from America's Deep South. The game features magic, fantastical beasts, Southern Gothic vibe to it, which is really cool. You don't see a lot of Southern Gothic views in really anything
You don't see a
anymore,
lot of
really.
Southern anything. The only other game that comes to mind, I think, like Deep South is Mafia 3.
Yeah,
Um, but so Compulsion, if you don't remember Compulsion, they're the guys that did We Happy Few.
yeah.
And he had another game before that that I really liked. And I forget the name of, but they only had like a couple games, and they got acquired by Microsoft, and they've just
Which
been
I'm
quiet
cool
ever
with.
since. Yeah,
Yeah. Which I'm cool with. I'm looking at some of the imagery that they have, some of the artwork and they have, and the character designs look really cool. I like what I'm looking at. It really does evoke this like fantasy setting, and you really get like that fantasy look. I'm so tired of fantasy being set in like medieval Europe. Like there's so much cool settings to do.
yeah,
I want to see fantasy, like really fantastic elements in something I haven't seen before. And this is something really, really cool that already hearing fantasy coming of age, deep south, I'm like, okay, let's fucking do it. Like I'm down.
yeah,
And seeing the imagery is not disappointing me in some of the artwork they're showing off. Um, they say it's going to be a single player experience with a very strong story. So I don't know what kind of game we're looking at here. It's a third person action game. So hopefully we're not looking at like I know some people like them, but I'm not a big fan of walking simulators. So this will be cool to see if it's an actual like proper action game. I would love to see that with this kind of imagery. But we'll see what Compulsion can do with it. Um, we also got to look at Obsidian working on another game. The code name for that is Pentiment. Am I reading
yeah,
that correctly?
yeah,
It's led by Josh Sawyer from Fallout New Vegas, which a lot of people will say is the best Fallout game. You basically act as an investigator in 16th century Europe, uncovering the truth behind a grisly murder. Be able to investigate, make accusations against characters in game, which can lead to different consequences if you're wrong. It's supposed to be very dialogue heavy with decisions make and responses, or with decisions you make and response to actions chosen from you. It's really cool to hear something like that. I'm not a big fan of like mystery style games, but I like the setting of 16th century Europe. And the fact the whole game can change depending on the choices I make, who I accuse, who I don't accuse.
yeah.
I really like that while trying to unwrap a murder conspiracy. This is definitely a game I want to check out with
And it's
no guide.
it's another game that they're working on that's got more of like an indie style to it. Um,
Yeah.
like if people remember, they're still working on Grounded, which is only being worked on by like a few people who just wanted to. I like that Microsoft is allowing them to just kind of just do this kind of stuff where it's like, hey, us six guys here, we got this idea. Can we just do it? And it's like, yeah, do it. Because they're working. Obsidian as a whole is working on 4 games, I guess, including this. They've got Grounded and Pentiment here, which is like more indie style. But then they got 2 gigantic games,
Yeah.
Avowed, and they had
Yeah.
just
The Elder Scrolls
announced,
style like game that they were working
yeah,
on.
and then they had just announced a sequel to Outer Worlds,
Yeah.
uh, which like those are 2 gigantic fucking games. Like I don't know how. I mean, I guess they have the resources now to do that under Microsoft, but
Uh,
um, it's just
we'll
crazy
see.
that
I really want to see them do that. And you're right, it is crazy for them to come up that high. And my thing is I don't want this to like come out and then we find out like a year later they were under some disgusting crunch. I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
Um,
To be fair, Microsoft probably has the cleanest history, just in terms of, I don't know, their treatment of their employees. Like nothing's ever come out, and from what I can
I want
remember.
when Halo Infinite, people talk shit about Halo Infinite and they like delayed it
Well,
properly,
no, that's
which
because
is
the
great
game
to
was
see.
bad, not because of like abuse.
Well, not I'm talking more like of them just like really shitty video game behavior.
Yeah,
Abuse of their employees or rushing out a product with forcing them to do crunch. Like you didn't hear any of that. And Halo Infinite was supposed to launch with the Xbox Series X and S, and to see like, oh, we're gonna delay it, another year. It's cool to see that they're taking that seriously. They're taking the mental health of their employees seriously. Again, there's no complaints of abuse, no complaints of any harassment. Also, I mean, we'll see what happens, man. I don't want like again, I don't want a year from now when these games are get more information. I found out there's this disgusting crunch they were under, but we'll see
yeah,
what happens. But yeah, I'm excited, dude. Anything Game Pass related, I'm paying very much attention to because anything Xbox is working on means I'm getting it on Game Pass. So
yeah.
it
And
feels good knowing
Compulsion,
like, yeah,
Compulsion alone, they're very a very creative studio. So like, I know We Happy Few didn't hit for a lot of people. I backed that game when it was even in like alpha, and just to see how far it went in that time,
yeah,
even though it's not what I was looking for. It's very impressive. So I'm curious to see what they do next,
yeah.
because they've been
I
they've
Me
been
too.
quiet.
They have been quiet, and it's a good feeling knowing like as a subscriber to Game Pass, knowing like I get to play this when it comes out.
Yeah,
I don't have to pre-order it. I don't have to fucking worry about having to, have the money set aside to download it. Even though I have the money to like buy any games I want now, like I'm still I was raised very poor. So I still have that mindset
yeah,
of like, no, I don't want to buy a game when it comes out. I'll wait till it goes on sale. Even though I can totally afford to do it now, I don't want to do it. So this is great for me because I can guilt-free play these games when they come out, be able to talk about them, enjoy them around the water cooler with everyone else. Um, those got me excited. And some quickie news, enough like sucking off Microsoft. And some quickie news. This is a record, man. We've been talking about Microsoft for like what, like 40 minutes?
yeah. Well, they're the only ones like kind of doing something right now, I guess. I don't
Yeah.
know.
We gotta look at really quick massive or god damn it. The Mass Effect Twitter account posted something for N7 Day. Just a quick shot of it looks like some concept, not concept art, but actual like, promotional art. And it says Mass Effect will continue. I don't know what I'm looking at. I don't know what it's supposed to be or what to do. But it's cool to know that, they haven't forgot about Mass Effect with the Mass Effect trilogy, the Mass Effect, like, what is the Ultimate Trilogy being out now, which fantastic. Everyone should go buy it if you haven't played Mass Effect yet. That trilogy is the best way to experience it. As someone who plays the whole trilogy at least once a year, that's the best way to experience it, hands down. Um,
This announcement doesn't tickle your taint.
well, I already knew they were working on a new Mass Effect game.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
yeah, they said like, oh, we're working on Mass Effect 4. We don't know when it's happening, but it's happening. So to see this, it's like more confirmation that it's still happening. That we haven't forgotten
Clay
about it.
Clay
It's
says there's
cool.
something
I'm
about
looking
this
at it.
picture.
Huh?
Clay's got some information about this picture. I don't know.
I'm a pretty big Mass Effect fan too, but I'm not able to like spot what's in this picture. I mean, like I know like there's a lot of people talking about like the imprint on whatever this is looks kind of like Legion from Mass Effect 2 and 3 on whatever that crater is, but I don't know. I think a part of me doesn't. I don't want to be like going over like every little image, like, oh, look at that rock. That rock means that this is canon. Like, I don't want. I never wanted to be that kind of guy. I'm sure like someone can point out stuff to me and my mind will be blown, but I kind of want to go into whatever it is they're doing as fresh as possible without any expectations. And that's not possible because I'm a huge Mass Effect fan.
and I'm gonna have like a ton of expectations whenever they drop that new game.
I was just about to
We'll
joke about if you zoom in, you can. He said if you zoom in, you see a few races, a dead Geth, and the hole itself looks like a Geth, so they might be coming back. Okay.
which would be cool to see. I like the Geth, but that's like a whole other thing. Like, but we'll
Oh, you
see what
can't zoom in
happens.
on this.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens with it. I'm really excited though. I love Mass Effect, and it's good to see them taking Mass Effect kind of seriously after the fucking disaster that was Andromeda. But we'll see what they do, man. I'm not gonna like lose my mind over like promotional artwork, but we'll see what they do. Um, in other news, Rockstar pulled the Grand Theft Auto Trilogy Definitive Edition from sale on PC. Um, I've been
Um,
hearing a lot of issues with it.
hey, Clay's here. He can. How are you liking the trilogy? I
Oh yeah, you
heard
did pick
the
that
word
up.
on the street is it's a fucking disaster, especially the
Yeah.
Switch version. I guess especially the PC version. Uh, I haven't heard. I've not been following the news on this game, other than uh, they pulled the PC version because there's like some files that they left in it. I didn't hear because it was bad. Uh,
Some files that were left there. Did they say what kind of files? Like,
well, they didn't say, but some data miners got a hold of it, and apparently there's some radio stations or like songs were removed in the old versions, but the files were still in there in this version. They were just removed via script, but the files were still there. So that was one
oh,
thing, and then there was another thing. There was some like just raw source code of like some of the scripts in the game that was still there. So people were looking at that and like looking at something like the developer commentary. Like when you code, you leave little comments to tell you like, "Hey, this is why I coded this way, and here's what's supposed to happen with this next line of code." And they left a bunch of like just jokes and stuff in their code, which was like funny. But I guess that wasn't supposed to be there, so um,
been hearing a lot of issues with the game too, just like graphical glitches, weird like effects that aren't working how they're supposed to. I've heard some shit about this game, which is kind of a bummer to see because I was like really excited to see this because I never played the trilogy before. So this because it's it's aged like shit, so I don't want to get into it. But this looks like, oh, this might be like the best way to play it. And I was thinking about picking it up, but seeing how it's running, that's not going to be the case. I don't want to check that out anymore. Hopefully Rockstar can pull something around with this. I've seen some like screenshots, people comparing like images from the definitive trilogy versus images that modders have done to the game, and the modded fixes are way better
yeah.
because there's a graphic fidelity and facial animation. I don't know. Like again, it's not. I don't know, I never played the game, so I'm probably not the right one to be talking about it. But it's really shitty that the game has all these issues when these games like what, like 20 years old. Grand Theft Auto 3 is like what, like 20 years old, right? Or am I making that up?
It's probably getting there.
And it's funny that they're just now gonna like remaster them. It's supposed to be the definitive version of it, and it runs worse than the original. Um, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully they fix it. I'm just tired of like broken games coming out and then people promising to fix it. That doesn't change the fact that that was your first experience with it was this really shitty experience.
Yeah.
We'll see, man. Hopefully they
Well,
can fix it
especially
up.
for
And,
the people who bought this on PC who can't play
oh
it,
yeah,
uh,
oh yeah,
because they fucked up is a bummer.
yeah. I know.
And then the first comment on this tweet is, "Guess what still works perfectly fine?" And he's got his PS2 version of San Andreas.
That's great. That's awesome. Oh, that's really funny. Um, and some other quickies. Steam Deck got delayed by 2 months. I'm not surprised, honestly, with the labor shortage leading to shortage on chipsets, which also led to shortage on like gas and that not shortage, but gas is getting like upcharged right now. I'm not surprised. Like everything's like crashing down. If I'm being
Yeah.
honest. Um, I'm not surprised the Steam Deck's getting postponed. I still want one. Still want one for sure. I still want to get one. What's it the wait to see when it's actually gonna be available? Apparently, it's been delayed 2 months, but that doesn't change the fact that it's still a very limited stock right now. So it's not like I can pre-order it now anyway.
I mean, you
You managed to
could.
get a pre-order, didn't you?
Well, I think everyone who wanted a pre-order got one. You can still get one technically. It's just you're not going to see it for a while. But
Yeah, because there's that first wave that's going out
yeah,
that people will see in the 2 months after it was set to release, and then
but they give you
God knows when.
they give you a little date estimate as to when you would get it. So mine
Okay.
is Q2 2022,
Oof.
which I think that's what it was before. I think I don't remember. Well, if
They'll
they
delay
delay
it.
it,
I'm
you
still
wouldn't
excited
get.
for it.
Yeah,
I'm still excited for it, and if it gets delayed, it gets delayed. But we know it's not getting delayed to like work on it and improve it. It's getting delayed because of the labor shortage we're experiencing right now. So
yeah.
yeah, and PlayStation 5's been out for a year. Happy birthday, PlayStation
And so
5.
is the Xbox, but I think I don't know why the news of the PS5 turning a year. I don't know, kind of hit me different because I'm like, it's been a year already. I feel like nothing significant has come from the PS5
No, not
aside
at
from
all.
like Demon Souls and like maybe Returnal and like Ratchet and Clank
Ratchet.
is dope. Ratchet and Clank is dope,
Yeah, I
but
played Ratchet. I think it's good.
like these games just kind of came and went, and then like and they were all like launch window games, and like nothing else has happened so far since then. And everything else is
Yeah.
coming is also coming to PS4, which in my mind PS4 is like a PS3 now. Like I'm like games are still coming out on PS4. Uh,
Yeah.
like I don't know why there's just like there's like this incongruence of like PS5 and PS4 and like just the time windows of like time is so distorted for me right now.
What's
But
really funny, if you look at the top 10 PS5 games played for the first year based on gameplay hours alone, it's like Fortnite, Call of Duty, FIFA, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, NBA 2K, Destiny 2. And the very bottom, like seventh and eighth place, we got Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, which is available on PS4,
yeah.
and Demon Souls. Only one game on that list is like a legit PS5 exclusive.
It's just and like I know it's also been a year for Xbox as well, but for Xbox they don't really give a fuck about the console. Like they're just
Yeah.
putting out games and you can just play it wherever the fuck you want. I think that's why the Xbox doesn't seem as uh crazy to me that it's already been a year because I've just been playing those games and that's
Yeah.
really all that matters.
Yeah, at the end of the day, Microsoft just wants you to play their games. They don't care how you do it. And
Yeah.
Xbox is just the way to do it. Um, but yeah, we'll see. We're fucking blowing Microsoft again, but it's I'm more I'm gonna be honest, I'm more interested to see what like Game Pass is putting out, what Microsoft's doing than what
Yeah.
PlayStation's doing. Because at least like I have a system to play these games on.
Yeah.
I can't even find a PS5 right now, and even if I do, like what am I gonna play on it? Like I played Ratchet and Clank. It was good. My brother loaned me his PlayStation a while back. I played it. I played Miles Morales. So there's only two games I really wanted to play on it. Like I don't know what to do now. If I buy a PS5, it's going to be sitting there until the next big thing comes out. I'll be looking for excuses to buy games for it. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really a huge bummer. Like I know it's supposed to be this like big like announcement, but like what have they done in that year?
Like nothing. I just don't like. But apparently, I don't know. Apparently, they're successful. They've had the PS5 is their biggest launch ever. Apparently, like somehow people who are finding ways to buy it are buying it, and they're buying enough that they're still breaking records. So I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens with it. I'm not gonna get a PS5 until like something that I can't get anywhere else comes out on. And even then, it
Yeah,
has to be
I
a
think
couple of games.
I think for me it's God of War, but I think that's coming to PS4 too. I have no idea.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be a PS5 exclusive. I don't know. If this shortage on systems keeps going the way it's going, who's gonna be there to enjoy it when it does come out? But we'll see.
But they seem
Um,
to be shifting more into like a PC thing. I think they have like a PC porting studio just going. So um, hopefully that's the way for them to kind of get stuff going.
hopefully. We got to look at some trailers and videos. Lies of P had a little alpha trailer come out.
Yeah,
I did actually see this. It looks interesting.
Bloodborne ass fucking.
It wants to be Bloodborne so fucking bad,
I was
but
actually like joking. I was like, man, this kind of looks like Bloodborne a little bit. And then like it definitely is Bloodborne, and you're like, I laughed like out loud. I was like, okay, they're just making Bloodborne, like to the degree that it like a lot of the landmarks just look like they took straight out of Bloodborne. I think.
I think a big part of it too is that Bloodborne had this like British, like this European, like Great Britain, like look to it, like from
Yeah,
like London look to it. And this game's doing the same thing. It's in a similar setting, but even then, like, well, the weapons look really similar. The combat looks a little bit more aggressive and flashy than what Bloodborne had,
yeah,
and fighting like robots and stuff that might make it help it stand out a little bit. And his like robot arm too, like is doing some pretty cool stuff that might help separate a little bit. But you're right, a lot of the environments like feel straight out of Bloodborne. I know it's not the game's fault because they have very similar settings.
oh,
But
well,
my
but
God,
it
man,
is their
you see
fault.
something like yeah, you're right. I don't know why it's
It
so
is their
bad.
fault
Like,
because Bloodborne does have like a very distinct look and feel to it, and especially when it comes to the gameplay. So when you look at this, you're like, oh no, that's just Bloodborne like animations, but in like flashier.
yeah, I'll give you that. Um, I mean, I'll probably check it out. I don't think it's going to be that big of a game. I don't think it's going to be as big as Bloodborne or
No,
like as
I
polished.
think it will. You got
You
to
think so?
understand that Bloodborne is it's a PS4 exclusive. They hadn't brought it to anything else. It runs like complete garbage.
Yeah.
It's a very difficult game to go back to. So like this can come out and just be Bloodborne multi-platform, and I mean it looks fantastic on its own. So I think people who are looking for more Bloodborne, this will do it for them. I mean, Bloodborne's my favorite. Bloodborne's the only Souls game that I like. Bloodborne and Sekiro. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh hell yeah, more Bloodborne.
I'm still like
So
I try to play Bloodborne, but you're right. It runs so bad.
yeah,
I don't want to deal with that. Um, Neo's good. I'm still playing Neo. I forgot to mention that. That's still
oh
good.
yeah,
Yeah, Neo's another one if you want that like Souls like feel, but and something a lot more aggressive. Um, Lies of P set to drop 2023. We'll see what they do with it. It might be interesting. I'll probably end up checking it out, man. If it's going to be a multi-platform game, it already looks like it runs better than Bloodborne. So, we'll have to see that. We got a update to Baba Is You, which is a game I slept on, man. I really, really want to play it. It's a really unique puzzle game,
it's
but
good.
basically the game's got a level editor now,
Yeah,
which is cool. Like, that's such a cool concept. And this is the type of puzzle game. I don't want to go into detail explaining it to anyone who hasn't heard of it yet, but check it out. Baba is You is a really, really unique puzzle game. And I really want to see this works perfectly with a level editor. Like it's something that's so obvious. I'm surprised it took this long to get one.
yeah.
But now like this game has like limitless potential now, dude, with a level editor.
And it's actually more than just a level editor. They're actually adding additional content to the base game as well.
Oh, that's really
So
cool. Oh, see, that's really cool to see. And it's all a free update. So
yeah,
if you got it, it's on everything. PC, Switch. Oh, that's it. I thought it was on PS4. I thought it was on PS4 and Xbox too. My bad. But PC and
Yeah, I
Switch
thought it
only.
was too.
But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I might pick it up actually. It looks cool. Um, we also got a look at Steam World Headhunter. I haven't played any of the Steam World games, but I love how each one is different.
Yeah.
Because
Steamroll Dig
Steam World
2
Dig,
is really
yeah,
good. Really good.
yeah, which was like a resource gathering, like Metroidvania, and then there was like Steam World, The Hand of Gilgamesh, I think, like that card-based,
Oh
turn-based
yeah.
RPG. Then Heist, like all
Nice.
those games play so radically differently. And when I heard about Headhunter, I'm like, what is this?
Now
Like I
there's
still don't know anything about it.
no
Yeah.
gameplay here or anything. It's just like a little teaser to say, hey, this is coming.
The description says, taking the series in a fresh direction, SteamWorld Headhunter is a stylized and colorful third-person co-op action adventure with a head-popping
Oh,
twist.
interesting.
So kind of like a co-op third-person action adventure. So maybe kind of like It Takes Two, maybe similar.
Maybe the whole Headhunter thing, at least from what I can tell from this, from what they're showing here, is that you play the head and you can maybe take control of other people's bodies.
Yeah, which would be
Is
cool to see.
what?
But the fact that like it's a co-op game, like it's got me really interested.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see when that comes out. Which speaking of It Takes Two, we got to finish that. Like
Oh,
I will
definitely.
arrange a time to finish it. I really want to finish it.
Yeah.
Um, so this I don't understand. We got Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep, a Wonderlands one-shot adventure trailer.
So
Is
yeah,
this the Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon's Keep like DLC, but
yeah.
repackaged into a single
It's
game?
just that DLC standalone. But it
Okay.
seems like they, when you watch the trailer, it says like it sounds like they added some stuff to it too. I don't know. I've never played this one, even though I have it. I just
Me too.
never played it. So
Borderlands 2 takes a lot to play, man. Like
yeah,
it takes forever to get to it. It's not like how can I word it? It's like Diablo. Like nobody plays Diablo for the campaign. You know, you're playing it to run rifts and to play that
yeah,
adventure mode. I wish Borderlands had a mode like that because I don't fucking want to play the story mode. I'm
yeah,
sorry, I don't want to play the story. I'm here to get loot, kill shit, watch numbers go up.
yeah,
Like I'm here for the grind, man. And you're taking that away from me by making me go through the story.
yeah.
I have hundreds of hours in Borderlands, not Borderlands, Diablo. Maybe 5 hours of it, maybe is in the story mode. Maybe.
And the story in these games is like the worst. Everyone talks way too fucking much, and they never have anything good or funny to say. Uh, but then they make you wait for them to finish talking so that you can move on with the quest that you're doing. Uh, it's like so annoying to play these games, but the shooting and
Yeah,
shit is like
games like
super fun.
the game. I'll go as far as to say the game holds you like emotionally hostage by making you sit there and listen to their shitty jokes that they think are so clever when they're fucking not. It's obnoxious as shit. Like God, I wouldn't be so like upset if it was like if it was just a bad story, but it's not. It's really bad comedy too. The game is not
Yeah,
funny. Everyone tells me like, oh, Borderlands 2, like the DLCs, like the Tiny Tina DLCs are the best part of it. But I'm like, dude, the shit I had to go through to get to that though. And like I gotta play through the
yeah.
campaign to get to it. Or I could just jump into it and then the game will just generate a character from me, but where's the fun in that? Like and it's not funny. The game's not as funny as it thinks it is. It likes to think it is.
It hits every once in a while. They have a little joke that you chuckle at a little bit and go, okay, that was okay one.
Yeah, but 98% of the time, it's sitting you in a room waiting, and you're sitting for the door to open while characters do some really bad back and forth yes and bullshit. It's not good at all, dude. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it. Remember we were
Um.
playing Borderlands 3 and like we had to kill all those monkeys and the fucking robot chick was doing like monkey voices the whole time we were doing
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
That was annoying as shit, dude. I hated that. I was like, God, this sucks now. I can't just kill these. I gotta listen to your god awful humor.
Well, if you want to play this Tiny Tina thing, it's on Epic for free right now, and I think it's like $10 on like everywhere else. So
Which might be worth like downloading. If it's like a standalone thing, I can kind of get into it.
Yeah.
If they're gonna play through the entire Borderlands 2 campaign, like I'm sure if I just like grit through the campaign,
But
there's a
then
good game on.
you're coming into it with a character that's like level 1, where if you play this in the actual game, it'd be I think everything scales anyway, so it shouldn't be a problem. But
So my biggest problem with Borderlands is like starting at level 1, like there's so little of the game that like you experience
yeah,
in there. It takes like 10 hours to really experience what the game's got going on. And even then, like it throws this awful story at you the whole time it's doing it. Maybe I'm being too harsh on Borderlands 2 because Borderlands 3 was the fucking worst, and I think that's retroactively hurting Borderlands 2 for me. But
yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to keep it negative, but well, you're not as funny as you think you are, Gearbox. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Someone had to tell you. So we got to look at another new little trailer video. We got Killzone 2 online servers are going back up,
Yeah, so
which
this is a mod, this is a fan made server, I guess, that just straight up works on PS3. Um I don't know if you can do this on like an emulator, because that's where most people I think would benefit from this. Because who
was
still has a
Killzone 2
PS3?
PS3 game?
PS3, yeah. Killzone 2 and Killzone 3 uh
Okay, cool.
were PS3. And I put a ton. I've got so much nostalgia for this
Yeah.
game. Yeah. I put a ton of hours into this game. Uh it's just this was one of those shooters that uh in the world filled with like Halos and Call of Duties, like after Call of Duty 4 came out, everyone wanted to be that. This was just a refreshing, just different take on something like that, but a little different. Like there was a lot of weight to your character. You felt really heavy.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't like that, but I thought it just gave it a different feeling, man. It just didn't feel like Call of Duty or Halo or anything else that was like popular at the time. The weapons felt really good. Like everything just felt good. It had a cover system too, first person cover system.
Oh
I
yeah.
think you hold the L1
Oh,
button.
PS3? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's
That's
one of
really
the only games that had a first person like cover system. Where you hold L1 and you take cover and then you could like peek over and kind of lean and stuff. Now Call of Duty is doing that, but
and Wolfenstein had it too. The newer Wolfenstein games.
oh yeah, yeah.
The Wolfenstein games.
But now,
But
now
yeah.
they're more like dynamic cover. Like if it senses you're behind something, it'll automatically peek over. But no, this had like you held a button and you could like peek and like have different varying degrees of peek. So if you want to peek more, you could like lean into it. Yeah, I don't know. And it had the best thing it had was like it would switch between its game modes dynamically. Was this game doing that? It had like 5 different game modes, but you would load into one map and then you would play a team deathmatch, and then for like 2 minutes, and then it would switch dynamically into, okay, you guys got a point for that deathmatch. Now we're playing capture the flag, and it would be capture the flag for 2 minutes, and then whoever won that would get a point, and then it'd be like hold the point. It'd be king of the hill for 2 minutes, and I thought that was like fucking genius because it would mix it up on the fly you didn't have to like load out of a match and load back in. It was great. This game was great. It was fantastic.
That is awesome. Okay, I'm gonna do it. So if you got a PS3,
If you got a PS3, or it'll probably work on emulator.
I don't see why I wouldn't work on emulator.
Yeah, these games were a lot of fun. So
And in some releases, we got so today, November 16th, we have Grow, Song of the Evertree. It's coming out on PC, Switch, PS4, Xbox One. I've never heard of this game before, so I'm gonna need your help here. What is this?
neither am I. These are the first times I'm hearing of most of these games too.
Oh, I
Uh,
also want to throw out that not because I don't see it here on this list. Knights of the Old Republic is available on Switch now, so something fun to go
oh,
check out.
very
Yeah, it's
nice.
$15. So I would have bought it if like SMT didn't just come out the other day, so I would have
Yeah.
bought it. I don't want to be playing 2 RPGs, but yeah, KOTOR is really good. It's one of my favorite RPGs. Even if you don't like Star Wars, it's still like a really solid RPG. Back on like BioWare's like heyday, so go check it out. $15 on Switch right now. But yeah, we got Grow Song of the Evertree. We also have November 16th, Hex Tech Mayhem, a League of Legends story. Now this I've actually heard of this one coming out. But I don't really play League of Legends. But this is like a rhythm runner, so it might be
Uh,
more casual game than League of Legends. I know you like rhythm games, so how do you feel about rhythm runners? Because this is like trying to be bit like what was that
yeah.
bit trip runner?
Bit Trip Runner.
Yeah.
They're fun. The first time you do them. uh,
Or like the music levels from Rayman.
yeah, the music has to hit though. If the music ain't hitting, uh, I ain't getting. Wait, let me turn up the volume on this and see where we're at with this soundtrack here. I can't even hear it.
I'm not like into it.
Oh wait, here it is. Here it is.
Is about music and explosions.
Okay.
Explosions.
Oh well, it'd be like League of Legends. You know, there's a pop band for League of Legends.
Yeah, I heard about that, and it's like they actually have like some music.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be like they actually have like pop idols like playing the characters, but like in game it's supposed to be like actual League of Legends characters are in this like pop group and like the
Yeah.
in-game war.
DJ
I don't
Max
know.
has a couple of the songs and like they slap. Hard
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'll have to check it out then. I don't know. I've just anytime I hear that, even if it's something I could be into, I'm like, but League of Legends though. Like I try getting into League. It's not my cup of tea. And like the community, I'm sorry, all y'all toxic. I don't know how else to say it. Like some of the worst game experiences I've had were like with League of Legends players. Um,
Yeah.
so I don't want to get into it. There's a new League of Legends anime out right now. I think it's called like what is it called? I don't even fucking remember. My brother's like super into it, and he like loves it, and I'm like, but League of Legends though. And that's the only reason I haven't watched it yet. But he swears by it. He doesn't even like League of Legends, and he's like, "Well, the show is really good." And I'm like, "I don't know, dude. I'm not gonna try it." So that's probably gonna be a skip for me. I'm not a big fan of like rhythm runners, and I don't like League of Legends, so it's be a skip for me. We got to look at Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1 is also releasing November 16th. I forgot Frogware is still making these like Sherlock Holmes games.
Yeah.
They didn't just do that. They did that Cthulhu game too, right? A little while ago, like Sunken City, is that what it was called?
I
Am I
don't
making
remember.
that
I
up?
don't really follow these guys that like the last thing I remember them doing was like they were up in arms about their previous Sherlock Holmes games because the publisher was like fucking them on it. Uh
I think there was an issue with the publisher fucking them on Sunken City too.
yeah, they're self-publishing this one, so
Yeah, hold on, let me look it up.
I don't
Yeah,
know anything
Frogware's
about these
working on the Sinking City. That's what it's called, the Sinking City.
Thinking City.
Yeah, the Lovecraft Cthulhu inspired like game. Um, that's another one that they did. That came out like in 2019, but I guess the publisher's like fucking them on it. There's some royalties that weren't getting paid out, some money getting paid that wasn't being paid, and now there's like all these issues of like they like the publisher taking it away from them, and Frogware like can't make money off the sales anymore. There's a lot of bullshit going on with it. I think it's delisted now, but it might be back up. I don't know. But point is like good on them if they're self-publishing this game. Looks like they're doing the telltale thing of releasing it like in chapters and using
Yeah.
the profits from one to fund the next, which is cool to see. I like seeing that. And more power to them, man. If they've been getting fucked over so hard, it's good to see them like kind of taking that power back.
This trailer
Um
looks incredible.
yeah, dude.
I don't know anything about these games, so
Yeah,
but I
this
don't
game
know.
looks like way better than it has any right to be. I might actually check this out, if I'm being honest.
Detective open world, story rich. So
This kind of reminds me of like LA Noir, but like good.
Yeah, that it looks like a game. I thought it would just be like a, I don't know. I don't know what I thought.
Yeah, but we'll see. We also got Surviving the Aftermath. That is coming out on Nintendo Switch on November 16th. I mean, it's kind of like a survival base builder style game.
Yeah,
Post-apocalyptic survival base builder game. Looks cool. I mean, it's not my cup of tea, but more power to you. This actually might be a pretty good game to have on Switch. I didn't even think
this
about
game's
that.
early access on
Yeah. I
Steam.
mean, I think it's set to come out on the 16th, isn't it?
Is it?
No. That's when it's set to come out on Switch. But I think I think it'll still be early access by the time it drops on Switch. So
Been out
have
for a
fun with
year
that.
on PC.
Yeah, so have fun with that. Speaking of early access, we got the Waylanders is set to release god damn it, hiccups. That is set to release on PC November 16th. This has been in early access since like June. So Waylanders is like a party-based RPG based on like Celtic folklore. So very like think of it like Neverwinter Nights or like I guess Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's actually exactly what this is. But it's based on more Celtic mythology. Actually, look at the gameplay. It looks more like Dungeon Siege, possibly. Anyway, point is, party-based CRPG based on Celtic lore. Actually looks kind of interesting, if I'm not gonna lie.
It does.
This looks pretty interesting. I kind of like
I
this.
like the look of it. It looks
Yeah, the
really
art style's pretty cool. It's only $35.
huh.
So it's not like a $60 game. I think I kind of like what I'm looking at here. I think I'm gonna bookmark this.
Yeah, the game, it's not my genre of game, but I like the look of it. I don't know. This might like convince me. You never know. Sometimes I get surprised by stuff that's not up my alley.
Yeah, I've been surprised by stuff that's out of my alley too. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, Waylanders. Okay, that's going on my wish list. I'm gonna keep an
Yeah.
eye on it.
Gato
It's only $35.
Studio.
So then November 17th, you got Final Fantasy 7, The First Soldier. I forgot that was a thing.
Yeah.
To be honest. The Final Fantasy 7 Battle Royale mobile game.
Yeah.
God, just none of that sounds good. None of that sounds good.
To be fair, it looks okay from like the stuff they're showing here. I would never want to play this on like a mobile like I don't see why mobile only. They couldn't put this on PC. Like PC has all mobile trash on it too.
I don't know. I don't know. Is it only touchscreen controls? Like I can't like connect a Bluetooth like controller to it.
There's tools you can use to kind of map buttons to the touchscreen. Um, through varying degrees of quality.
I don't know. This looks like gotcha trash. I don't think I'm into it.
You guys have cell phones, right?
I mean, we'll see. If it's good, I'll admit I'm wrong. But
I might be able to stream. I might be able to stream this. I got that Nier game. I don't know if I talked about this yet. I got that Nier game on Android, and
I heard about that. How is it?
it's like extremely high quality. It's
Yeah?
actually like mind blowing how good it is. And I was like, I want to stream this because this is actually like a legitimate game here. But I need to find out how to do that. I know I can do it in Android. I can do it, but I don't know if I need something else to do that. It's something I gotta look into.
Yeah, do some research. It might be cool. We'll
Yeah.
see what happens. Next we got Clang 2, which is coming out Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Series X. It's been on PC since like October. Clang 2 is a psychedelic rhythm action game, but it primarily uses like dance and house music.
Yeah.
So if you're into that kind of music, I mean, these tracks aren't too bad. not a huge fan of this genre of music, but hearing this, I'm like, I can get behind some of these tracks.
Yeah, I like this music for a rhythm game because it's got energy to it, you know.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
especially for a game like this where it's like there's a lot of flashy like combat and stuff like that. I don't know. You get a bit of a connection to what's happening in the game and what's happening in the music.
Yeah.
More
So
aggressive.
this looks pretty cool. This is set to come out November 17th, so might be a good Switch game.
I don't know why I haven't played these games yet, but I haven't. And I need to because these are the type of games I like.
So this next game is very interesting. This is set to come out November 18th. Kid Amnesia Exhibition. Now, this is they describe it as an upside down digital / analog universe created from original artwork and recordings to commemorate 21 years of Radiohead's Kid A and Amnesiac. So if you're a Radiohead fan, people will argue that, that's one of their best albums. And I'm not a huge Radiohead fan though. But it looks kind of like a walking simulator based on the artwork and music from those albums,
Yeah.
which I mean could be something cool. I'm not a Radiohead fan though, so that's obviously not going to appeal to me.
Yeah. I
I'm
mean,
not
no,
a Radiohead
I
fan or a walking simulator fan, so
I fuck with Radiohead, but I just don't know what this is. It's gonna be free. It's a free thing, so maybe I
I
might
know
check it
like
out.
one Radiohead song, and it's like the Radiohead song that everybody knows. So
Which one is that? I don't even know which one that
Creep,
is.
Creep, dude.
Oh, see, Creep is not the one that I go to. Uh,
It's not the one that you go to as like a Radiohead fan, but like a passive
yeah,
listen. That's the one that I can ask like 100 people who've like listened to music in the past like 20, 30 years, name a Radiohead song. I guarantee you like 98% of them is going to be Creep. Just gun to your head, name a Radiohead song. First one that pops up going to be Creep for most people. Um,
Creep.
exactly. Um, I mean, I don't know. This could be something cool. I'm not a Radiohead fan, so it doesn't appeal to me. I'm not a walking simulator fan, so it doesn't appeal to me. But it could be something cool if that jives with both. If you jive with both those things, it could be something really cool for any of you out there who are into that. I don't want to, I like to be positive. I don't like to shit on things. I like to acknowledge that not everything's going to appeal to me, and there is an audience for everything, and there's definitely an audience for this. The people who are into this are going to fucking love it, I think. We also got a look at Microsoft Flight Simulator Game of the Year Edition is dropping on PC and Xbox Series X. Or if you have Game Pass, you can play it right now.
Yep.
I mean, it's finally on Steam. That's it. I mean, that's all there's really there to like talk about. It's finally on Steam. So go
I
ahead, check
don't
it out if you
know
want
how much.
to some bones on it.
How much? 60?
That's 60
Well, for
bones
this
right
Game of the
there.
Year edition,
Yeah.
because they have a deluxe edition that's $120. So I just don't know what this Game of the Year edition is gonna include.
I don't either. It doesn't even say Game of the Year Edition on the Steam page. Is the Game of the Year Edition like an Xbox exclusive? Hold on.
Well, it's coming to PC. It's probably maybe just on the Microsoft Store, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah,
But
I don't know.
I don't know. There's a bunch
Um,
of like planes and shit you can buy in the game. It's I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe just get the base version. Just get the Game Pass version.
Yeah, just get the Game Pass version if you want to buy that shit. Just buy that shit. But
Yeah.
Microsoft Flight Simulator, it's not going to leave Game Pass. So the November 19th, we got Battlefield 2042, which
Nice.
looks fucking dope, dude. Like, this looks dope. I haven't been excited for like a military-based first-person shooter. Like,
I played it. I was underwhelmed as
yeah,
a
really?
not Battlefield fan. Yeah, I don't know. I was expecting. I don't know. I don't know what I was
Right,
expecting.
like Insanity.
Insanity. Yeah, I guess that was one thing. And it just was not as insane as I was hoping. But I only played the one mode. I just played the normal like mode. So there is the what the fuck do they call it? The teleport mode. I forget
Is
what it's called.
Battlefield 2042 gonna be on Game Pass with the EA Play? Probably not.
Uh, if it's
That would,
on EA Play, they might. Maybe not day one, but it'll probably be on there. But I don't know. I just want absolute chaos,
that's
and
same. I
it
want just
wasn't.
sanity.
Like you see this guy like wingsuit dive out the sky and then like stab a dude. I'm like, I don't think you can do that. Hazard Zone. That one I didn't get to try. That one sounds cool.
Oh yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
their like battle royale mode. I think. I don't know. I have to see.
It's gonna come out. I'm sure the Battlefield fans are gonna be into it, but we'll see what happens. We gotta look at then we got Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. And that's it. That's the
Nice.
show, guys. No, I mean it's a remake of Diamond and Pearl. It looks very basic and it's $60. I mean, I don't God damn it. So I don't like to be that kind of guy who is like, does this really look like it's worth $60? Because I was saying that about Metroid Dread, and I feel like an asshole for doing it. Because as long as the game gives you an experience that you wanted, I mean, it's $60 because it's like a simple art style or 2D. Doesn't mean it's not worth $60. But I'm gonna come right out and say it. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl doesn't look like it's worth $60, dude. I've the models are very basic. I know it's trying to have this nostalgic look with the way the players are shaped, but this looks like it came out on the 3DS. They're recycling the same models for Pokemon that look like that came from Sword and Shield. And even then, like I was super critical of Sword and Shield. The only reason I would recommend getting Sword and Shield is if you can get the game and all the DLC for under $60 together. That's the only thing that makes it worth it. Um, a remake of a game I've already played that I enjoyed on the Nintendo DS. I don't. This isn't going to appeal to me. I'll probably just end up biting the bullet and buying it anyway because Pokemon. But
You're the
I'm not.
problem.
I'm not going to buy it for $60. I'll probably buy it secondhand once some like shitty kid like plays through it and is bored. I'll probably pick it up off of him for like $40 or something. Or maybe go on like my local Craigslist, see like kids who finished it off in like an afternoon. But we'll see.
I just don't know what people want out of Pokemon anymore. Like, it just seems like they can do whatever the fuck they want, and as long as it says Pokemon, you're gonna be
So
happy with it.
here's my thing with Pokemon, and it's like, as a Pokemon fan, I know like there's things you don't like about it. You don't like that it's still turn-based. You don't like that there's still gyms and stuff.
I don't like that it's still the same game that from 30 years ago
Yeah.
with like just little cosmetic bullshit added sprinkled on top to make it
Problem with
seem like it's better than it is.
the problem with Pokemon is that how can I word it? They have two audiences they need to satisfy now. They need to satisfy the new players, kids, the original intended audience who are playing it, and the adults who have played the game from the beginning. And I said a third audience too, like the competitive scene.
Well,
Every
I
new
don't
game that's coming out, like
I
there's
don't think they
competitive play.
need to satisfy anyone because the kids who buy Pokemon, they're gonna buy it regardless of whatever the fuck it is. So they don't care. The people who've been with Pokemon for their whole lives, I think there's two different audiences there. Like the adults who grew up with it are like split, because some of them don't care as well. But like, if you're like me, I just want to see them make a good game. I just want to see them make it like a Zelda. You know what I mean? Like a Breath of the Wild, but not like the one that's coming out, because that one is trash.
Yeah.
Like,
Pokemon Arceus does not look good.
I want them to completely tear down what people think Pokemon is and rebuild it from the ground up, just like they did with Breath of the Wild.
I wanna
Like,
see that too.
and I think
Yeah,
everyone will
yeah.
be happy with that.
And it's funny you bring that up, because if somebody wants a monster collecting game, maybe you've outgrown Pokemon. I want a monster collecting game that's a bit darker. A monster collecting game with like higher stakes. I don't want a game where I'm going to like gyms and doing the same story over and over again. I want something deep. Play Shin Megami Tensei.
Yeah.
I would say that's like the perfect, like, if what you want out of Pokemon, I say Shin Megami Tensei might scratch that itch for you.
Or like even like that Pal World game that's coming out.
Oh yeah, that looks incredible.
Yeah.
That looks like Pokemon Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. With guns and shit.
Shit.
Like,
And this is coming from someone who's been playing Pokemon a long time, dude. Like, I love Pokemon. I told you earlier in the show, I was playing Sword, didn't start it over. I'm just trying to build like a really good team right now. And it's part of
Yeah.
that stuff I really like. I like the mid-maxing that comes with that, building a perfect team. I like seeing numbers go up. I like seeing perfectly built and orchestrated members of a party who are built to do a specific job, and seeing that kind of fruition. I like seeing that stuff. But I feel like the package that Pokemon comes in now isn't different from the package that they've been coming in. And I'm kind of starting to get burnt out from it.
yeah.
I mean, we'll see what they do with I don't think Pokemon Arceus is gonna like set the world on fire. And Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl definitely aren't gonna set the world on fire either. I
I don't think Pokemon has much life left.
think so.
I
Still a super popular franchise.
it is, but I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. Like, if they keep going the way they have been going, I can't. I know they're the biggest franchise on the planet, but I don't know if like the legs are there anymore. At least for like the games perspective, like it's a whole media franchise at this point. But these games aren't hitting, man. At least not. I don't know. I can't pretend to know like what the sales are on these games, or like who's buying them or what. Maybe this ends up being like the top selling game of all time, and then I'm like, okay, well, no, they still got it.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see with it. Meanwhile, I'm watching the trailer for Power World again, and I'm like, fuck. This is what fucking Arceus should have been.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what they do, man. We'll see what they do. I really, really like what I've seen with Power World, though, and that's something cool. There's other games out there too. There's Nexamon supposed to be really popular. Cassette Beast looks really cool. That's another really cool looking monster collecting game. Heartbeat supposed to be really good. But we'll see. We'll see what Pokemon does. But there's other alternatives there if you want to try something different. And looks like that's it, man. That's everything. We hit everything we wanted to hit. Kept it in
Yeah.
about 2 hours, like always. Anything you want to share? You want to tell the people where to find us?
Guys, you can go to Gameoverse.com. You can go to Gameoverse.com/Twitch. You can go to Gameoverse.com/YouTube. You can go to Gameoverse.com/Discord. Jump in there. Talk to us, have a chat, hang out, always having fun times in there. Extra Life is still going on, actually, until the end of the year. So you can go to Gameoverse.com/Extra Life. And, throw a couple bucks, throw whatever you can. Any amount, every amount helps. So, I'm actually going to do ! donate here in the chat. So, I'll just give you the link. Yeah, I had a really good time. This Extra Life. Found out some things about Resident Evil that I didn't know were in me. So,
Good.
but we're gonna be playing games this week. So we're gonna finish Psychonauts. We're at the end of that. We're gonna be finishing that.
Ooh, I gotta stay out of that then. 'Cause I still want to play it.
Oh yeah.
I haven't played Psychonauts. I haven't played Psychonauts 1 or 2, but 2's looking really good. So
2 is game of the year. Game of the year easily.
Everyone tells me that. I'm gonna start with a 1 and work the long way there, but I'm into it.
And then I think I'm gonna start looking. I'm gonna start a new series called "Dude, It's on Game Pass" for PC, and
That's
then
actually a really good idea.
and then just look at Game Pass games that I wouldn't otherwise play. Or I've got 2 already. Rift Breaker. I'm gonna be checking out, which is like one of those super popular like building games, like defense games where you like build your defenses and then like shit comes and attacks you. Never played one, but this one has like an added element of like action RPG Diablo shit in it, which is really cool. So
Oh, yeah, it's like
Yeah.
what is it? Like a tower defense with like
yeah,
action RPG elements. I'm into
Yeah.
that. Okay, this looks cool. I might check this out with you.
so yeah, we're gonna be doing that. Yeah, so stay tuned for stuff, guys. It's gonna be stuff coming. So
That'd be cool. I'm gonna try to get an SMT stream going once I find the capture card. I recently moved. I say recently, this was like 4 months ago, 5 months ago. But all my shit's still packed up. You know how it goes, man. Like if you don't use it
Yeah.
every day, it's still packed up. But yeah, just come check us out, guys. It's great having everybody. We do this live every week. Come check us out. Come talk with us. We love hearing from you guys. And be safe.